everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about essential oils, and I am kind of building on the previous video that I shared talking about how you can get started with essential oils, and I'm specifically focusing this video on how you can use essential oils to help you get better sleep. So this is probably the most common way that I personally use essential oils. I use them every single night when I'm going to bed, and I have noticed a huge difference in the way that I sleep. I have noticed since using essential oils that my sleep is not only more consistent, so I'm staying asleep for longer, but it is also a lot more restful and deep so that when I wake up in the morning, I feel a lot better. So there are a bunch of essential oils that you can use to help support better sleep, but I have a few favorites that I'm going to walk you through today. And then in addition to the essential oils that we're going to talk about, I'm also going to give you some ideas for different ways that you can use them. The most common is diffusing, but I'm going to talk about the other ways that you can use them to help support your sleep. So let's go ahead, dive into the different types of oils you can use, and then we'll talk about the various uses. So as I mentioned in my Getting Started with Essential Oils video, my number one favorite oil of all time is lavender. Lavender has a million uses, but my favorite is its relaxing properties, and it's really helpful for sleep. So lavender is something that I have in my diffuser every single night. I usually pair it with a few others, but it is by far my favorite. It has really calming and relaxing properties. The smell alone is just something that makes you automatically feel relaxed. That's why all of those little like eye pillows and eye masks that you see have lavender in them, because lavender is a very calming and relaxing scent. My next favorite oil, which I also talked about in my Getting Started video, is Cedarwood. And lavender and cedarwood together are a blend that I use every single night, and then I build on top of that. So depending on how I'm feeling, I'll add a different oil, but they are the two that are always in my diffuser no matter what, and they smell delicious together, they work really well, and this one in particular has a very kind of earthy and woody and kind of grounding smell, and I've found that by adding cedarwood into my diffuser, I sleep much more deeply, and that's really what this one is helping you with, is getting that really deep REM sleep. So the next 5 oils, and I have them all in my hand right here, these are really like the add-ons, and they're how I kind of build on my base, which is the lavender and cedarwood. And it depends on how I'm feeling that night and what kind of sleep I'm really looking for. If I've had a stressful day, I might use one oil. If there's a lot of negative energy in my life happening, I might use a different oil. And really, it's kind of finding the blend that works for you for that particular day. So I'm just gonna run through the list, and I'm gonna just hold them up, and I'll quickly talk about each of them. And I should mention that some of these are oil blends, and they're specific to the brand of oils that I use, which is called Young Living. So if you can't find the particular blend that I'm mentioning here, some of the brands I'm sure have something similar. So really just look and you can find something similar. So the first oil, which is a blend, is called Stress Away. And this is unique to Young Living, so I don't think that you can find it anywhere else beyond Young Living. But I really like this paired with lavender and cedarwood. It's probably the one that I use most frequently. And this oil, just as the name sounds, is supposed to help alleviate stress. So if I've had a really stressful day, I will put some of this in my diffuser, and I also will use it topically as I go to sleep. So I'll talk a little bit about how you can use oils topically in a minute, but Stress Away is a really great oil for sleep. The next oil is orange, and this is one that I actually just found out about, and I've really just recently been exploring with it, and I really like it. It smells, of course, like orange, which is like a really beautiful and kind of bright smell, but surprisingly, it isn't one of those smells that's going to be super invigorating and energizing. It really does help with sleep. And when it's paired with lavender and cedarwood, the whole blend together smells so good, and it's just a really lovely way to fall asleep, and I've definitely noticed that it helps me stay asleep for longer. All right, the third oil, which I think is a unique blend to Young Living, I'm not 100% positive, is called White Angelica. And this, I only use a drop or two, and it's really if I'm feeling in a really negative mood, or there's been like a negative thing happen to me during the day, or there's negative emotions in the air, because this oil is kind of known for like protection properties, and it's kind of to help you like get rid of negative energy and help you block negative energy from your space. So I do use a drop or two of this in my diffuser, but it's also one of those ones that I will use topically because you can kind of just like rub it between your hands and rub it all over your body, and it helps protect you from negative energy. So if you're feeling kind of down and you know when you're going to bed, if you've had a negative day or there's negative thoughts swirling around, it's hard to fall asleep. And this one will really help you get rid of those like energies and feelings and thoughts and go to sleep faster. All right, next two on my list I just got last week, and I'm really excited about both of them. I've tested them both out and they're both amazing. The first is German chamomile, and I'm sure you guys have heard of using chamomile tea to kind of relax yourself at night. And this kind of has the same properties. So it's the chamomile, it's really relaxing, it's comforting, it smells like chamomile tea, which is just so good. It's like one of my favorite smells ever. And it just really helps you fall asleep, I've found, and helps you get into this relaxed state before you go to bed. So I like to add a few drops of this to my diffuser, and it smells so good. I'm gonna smell it right now because I just like can't help myself. It just smells so yummy. And of course, like, when you have chamomile tea at night, it's just one of those things that you love, and this is like sleeping with a cup of chamomile tea. It's so great. So the last oil that I got, I don't honestly know how to pronounce it, so I'm totally gonna probably butcher this, but it's called Copaiba, or Copaiba, and it is similar to Cedarwood in smelling. It's from a wood, and it smells very kind of earthy, and it has those same kind of grounding properties that Cedarwood does. And I've just found that it helps to kind of elevate the two that I'm using, so lavender and cedarwood. Plus this oil is a really grounding, it smells really nice, and I have a very restful and deep sleep when I use it together. So I'm really liking this one so far. Like I mentioned, it is new to me, but so far so good, and I'm really excited about it. All right, so the last oil that I want to talk about quickly with you is something that is not actually for helping you specifically stay asleep, but it's for helping you if you sleep with somebody that has a snoring problem. So a lot of people out there have, whether it's sleep apnea or some sort of issues with snoring. The oil that can really help is called Valor. And again, this is a blend that comes from Young Living, so I'm not sure if other brands carry it, but this oil, if you rub it on your big toe, just a drop on each of your big toes, it almost always alleviates snoring. So if you have a partner that snores, sometimes I snore, it's really embarrassing, but especially if I'm a little bit stuffy in the nose, I'll put this on my toe, and it just like makes everybody's night a lot more restful and calm. So if you do have a snorer in your bedroom, then I recommend trying to use this oil, have them rub it on their big toe, and I think you will notice a very big difference. So I know that was a lot of information, and I talked about 8 different oils, so it was a lot, but just know that you don't have to start with all of them at once. I will say that the best way and the best recommendation that I have if you're just getting started with essential oils is to buy the starter kit, which is how I personally started with essential oils. You get 13 oils. It's amazing. You get lavender, and you get a few that are in this bunch that I mentioned, and then you can have access to buying all of the other oils that Young Living sells, and you get them at your discount, which is great. You also get the diffuser, which is something that I'll talk about more in a second, but I have mentioned already, and it's just like the perfect way to get started if you're new to essential oils. And if you already have some of these at home, then awesome, because you're already set up for success. You can use them how I'm going to talk about them with diffusing and also topically. And really, I think you guys are going to notice a huge difference in the way that you sleep once you start to incorporate essential oils into your routine. So now that we've talked individually about the oils, let's talk about the 3 specific ways that you can use them. So I've talked about diffusing before, especially in the getting started video. I talked a lot about diffusing. Check out that video for more information. But diffusing is the way that I personally use oils every single night. You just add in, it depends on your diffuser, but for my diffuser, you add water, you add some drops of oils, and then it runs on a cycle. So mine runs for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, depending on what I'm wanting. Usually I just run it for an hour because I fall asleep really quickly and I stay asleep most of the night because of the oils. So I only have to run it for an hour, which is great, but it shuts off automatically and I love it. It's quiet. It kind of has this like bubbling sound in the background, which kind of reminds me of like a babbling brook, which is like a relaxing sound anyway. And then of course the oils smell amazing and they'll help you fall asleep. So if you don't have a diffuser, you can get the one that I currently have in my bedroom. I'll link it in the description box below. And like I mentioned earlier, if you buy one of the kits, which is how I started, it comes with a diffuser, which is great. So the next two ways that you can use essential oils are both topically. The first is that you can put them directly onto your skin and like without diluting them. And then the second is to put them in like a little roller bottle thing, and you can roll it on your wrist or on the bottom of your feet. So the three oils that I like to use topically are lavender. If I'm feeling really agitated and I really just like need to relax, I will put a drop of lavender on my two fingers, I forgot the word, and then I just rub behind my ears, and the smell, like it's close enough to your nose that it really helps to relax you more quickly. I do the same thing with Stress Away and also with White Angelica, but White Angelica, like I said earlier, I also will sometimes just rub between my hands and then rub it like kind of gently all over my body to kind of give myself this negative energy protective shield. So that's how I use White Angelica, but the two that I really like to put topically behind my ears are lavender and Stress Away. And then for the roller balls, so I have one here, and I will put in some cutaways of how you can make this, but the roller bottle that I have, I bought them on Amazon. You want to make sure that you're buying glass. You can buy either blue bottles or brown. I have brown, but you do want to have ones that have a darker colored glass so that the oils can be protected from the light. And really they have this little like roller top thing. I'm sure you've seen perfumes come in these sometimes. And what you do is you add in your oils, depending on the blend that you're using, and then you add in a carrier oil. The carrier oils that I like to use are grapeseed oil or sweet almond oil. You could also use a fractured coconut oil if it's like, which means it's melted at room temperature. But I don't really like to use those. I don't know why. I just like grapeseed oil and sweet almond oil better. So you basically just put in your essential oils, and then you add in your carrier oil, and then you can just shake it up, and you can use it either on your wrist, so you'll just rub it on your wrist, and then I go like this, or you can rub it on the bottom of your feet. It depends on the blend that you're using, but a lot of times, interestingly enough, you get more benefit if you're rolling it on the bottom of your feet. And my personal favorite blend in the roller bottle is lavender, Cedarwood, the Copaiba, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that one, and then a drop or two of orange. And I've noticed amazing benefits of using that on the bottom of my feet in my sleep. So I don't tend to like to use more than like 4 in one recipe, just because that seems like a lot to me. And there are a bunch of like benefits of all of these things, so you don't necessarily need to combine them all together. But basically, once you have them in your little roller bottle, you could label them if you want. I don't have a label maker, but you could like just label the different blends that you have. And like I mentioned, you just put it on the bottom of your feet and you're good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm thinking that I'm gonna do a series of these videos if you're liking it, and talk a little bit about how you can use essential oils for different like aspects of your life. So there are essential oils that are great for focus. There's essential oils that are great for like energizing you during the day if you have like these down times during the day where you just need to get a pick-me-up. So let me know if that sounds interesting to you, and I can create some more videos around this. I definitely have found huge benefits of using essential oils for sleep, and I hope that if you have some of these at home, or if you don't have them, you can pick some of the oils up, because they will help you tremendously. And if you are interested in getting started with essential oils and you don't have any yet at home, my recommendation is to start with a starter kit. It's how I got started, and it helped me so much. You kind of can dip your toes into the essential oil world. You'll get a diffuser, which oftentimes is like pretty expensive, and they work really well. So if you're interested in picking one of those up, you can use the link in the description box below. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. If there are any oils that you use for sleep that you recommend that I didn't mention here, please share. I'm always on the lookout for new oils, so definitely let me know. And if you have blends that you like, make sure to let me know too, because then everybody else can try your blends and we can all learn from each other. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back next week with a brand new recipe video, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye guys!